Hello, my fellow godless apes. Hope you're all having a very Merry Christmas and haven't yet resorted to cutting off all religious family to enjoy a nice secular time to yourself. I think it's very important on this, the holiest of days, to take a moment to appreciate, as people say, the true reason for the season. The Earth's tilted axis. Thank you, Axis Tilt, for making Christmas cold as shit for some of us and hot as hell for our Southern Hemisphere brethren. And of course it wouldn't really be Christmas without some mention of the brutal 21st century Civil War in our country. No, not that one. Of course I mean the American War on Christmas, as it's apparently been waging for as long as I can remember. And who better to guide us through this troubling topic than resident American wise man himself, Dennis Prager.
The change from wishing fellow Americans Merry Christmas to wishing them Happy Holidays is a very significant development.
Significant? Not so sure about that one. It really only affects people like you who, for whatever reason, feel personally attacked when people use a more broad term to tell you that they hope your winter festivities go well. As for development, while that is technically true, I suppose, it's not really a new development over the course of your lifetime. You were born in 1948, and even as far back as 1937, Camel cigarettes were running ads with the slogan, "Happy Holidays and Happy Smoking." So I'm not really sure where exactly you're getting the idea that people saying Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas is a significant development in any way. And just for the record, I could not possibly care less how people would like to greet me during the month of December. Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, or my personal favorite,
I wish Christmas bonus and all you atheists too. Merry fucking Christmas to you.
it really makes no difference to me, as it really shouldn't for anybody.
Proponents of Happy Holidays argue it's no big deal. Proponents of Merry Christmas are making a mountain out of a molehill.
That is true. Anybody who asserts that people must greet each other with Merry Christmas is making a big deal out of nothing. But at the same time, I would also say that so is anybody who asserts that people must say Happy Holidays. There is no justifiable reason that greetings must be policed in this way. Just say whichever you prefer and accept the fact that others may prefer to say something different. It's that simple.
But the Happy Holidays advocates want it both ways. They dismiss opponents as hysterical, but at the same time, in addition to replacing Merry Christmas with Happy Holidays, they have relentlessly pushed to replace Christmas vacation with winter vacation and Christmas party with holiday party.
Oh fuck, you're right, Dennis. It must be a conspiracy. There's just no justifiable reason to believe that students do anything over their winter break other than celebrate Christmas. It's not like there's even another holiday that even you likely acknowledge in there somewhere in the form of New Year's. How could I have been so blind to this nonsensical grab for liberal power in our society?
So then, which is it? Is all this elimination of the word Christmas important or not?
No, it's not. And with that, thank you all very much for watching.
The answer is obvious. It's very important.
God fucking damn it.
That's why so much effort is devoted to substituting other words for Christmas. And these efforts have been extraordinarily successful. In place of the universal Merry Christmas of my youth,
Except, of course, for the people who were already saying Happy Holidays over a decade before you were born. Just because you now live in a more connected world where you're more commonly exposed to worldviews that conflict with yours does not mean that those worldviews did not exist until you came upon them.
in recent decades, I have been wished Happy Holidays by every waiter and waitress in every restaurant I have dined, by everyone who welcomes me at any business, by my flight attendants and pilots, and by just about everyone else.
That, Dennis, would be simply a product of where you chose to live. You, according to what I could find on Google, have decided to live in Los Angeles, one of the most liberal places in our country, and as such you are much more likely to hear Happy Holidays than you would be in places that more closely align with your ideology, places, for example, like Tennessee, where I live, and have heard nothing but Merry Christmas since December 1st. At first, I thought that maybe you grew up somewhere conservative and only experienced this shift because you moved to a liberal area of the country, but I was incorrect. You were born and raised in New York, and not just New York, but New York City. So my new working theory is that you've always heard Happy Holidays from people around you, but like so many apologists often do, you thought it would sound more compelling if you made that shift seem more absolute.
When I respond, "Thank you, Merry Christmas," I often sense that I've actually created some tension.
Doubtful, but as I'm not there to see it, I will grant you that perhaps it does happen from time to time. However, if it happens often as you've just stated, then you should have by now already accepted that this would be a likely reaction to your response and expected to get it, or decided that you wanted to feel like more of a victim to fuel your persecution complex, and this is the way you've decided to go about it.
Many of those I wish Merry Christmas are probably relieved to hear someone who feels free to utter the C word. But all the sensitivity training they've had to undergo creates cognitive dissonance.
Ah, yes, all those hours of sensitivity training that brainwash people into wincing at the utterance of Merry Christmas. Hell, I can feel my skin crawling now.
The opponents of Merry Christmas and other uses of the word Christmas know exactly what they're doing.
Anybody who considers themselves to be a staunch opponent of the phrase Merry Christmas should know that they're likely achieving just as little as those diametrically opposed to them. However, as there are many fewer people who actually get up in arms over this side of the debate, I assume you lump people who simply prefer to say Happy Holidays into this group as well.
They're disingenuous when they dismiss defenders of Merry Christmas as fabricating some, quote, war on Christmas. Of course it's a war on Christmas.
Of course it's a war on Christmas. Open your eyes, sheeple. The bombs are dropping and the armies are marching as we speak. Say Merry Christmas. Save yourselves.
Or more precisely, a war on the religious nature of America. The left in America, like the left in Europe, wants to create a thoroughly secular society. Not a secular government, which is a desirable goal and which in any event has always been the case in America, but a secular society.
I am surprised to hear, Dennis, that you're one of the few conservatives I've found who accept the fact that America has always had and should always retain a secular government. However, I'm curious as to what you would consider to be a secular society, as that's not a term I believe I'm familiar with.
Most people do not realize that the left believes in secularism as fervently as religious Jews and Christians believe in the Bible.
Whoa, hold up. First of all, religious Jews do not believe in the Bible. They believe in the Torah and the teachings of the Old Testament only. If, as you say, religious Jews believed in the Bible, they would not be religious Jews, they would simply be Christians. Second, secularism is not a religion to be believed in, and as such, the left does not believe in secularism in any way that is similar to a religious belief. Secularism is far closer to an expression of government than an expression of religion. And third, you set the left as being diametrically opposed to religious Jews and Christians, while completely ignoring the fact that there are plenty of Jews and Christians who identify as being liberals or Democrats, and as such, your opposition between the two groups is not justified in this way.
That's why Merry Christmas bothers secular activists.
I would absolutely consider myself to be a secular advocate, and I have no problem at all with people saying Merry Christmas. And as a secular advocate, I also think that people should be able to say Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus, Happy Winter Solstice, and any other winter greeting that they want, because it doesn't fucking matter.
It's a blatant reminder of just how religious America is and always has been. So here's a prediction. Activists on the left will eventually seek to remove Christmas as a national holiday.
I have absolutely no interest in this, and while I'm sure that there are some who do seek this eventual goal, they are a very small minority. I am an atheist. I am an anti-theist. I think that religion causes so much more harm than good that the world would be an overall better place if it ceased to exist in our world. And yet, I celebrate Christmas. Not as a religious holiday, but rather as a time when family can come together and share the end of the year with each other, a time when people are generally kinder to one another for whatever reason they see fit, and a time that, despite its religious ties, can be celebrated by anybody regardless of their faith in the supernatural or lack thereof. In our country, as I recently saw talked about by Seth Andrews and Matt Dillahunty, the Christmas holiday is generally split in the minds of even religious people between religious and secular traditions, as I believe it should be, and as it causes no harm to anybody, whether religious or not.
Now, the left doesn't announce that its agenda is to thoroughly secularize American and European societies. Instead, they offer the inclusiveness argument that Merry Christmas or Christmas party or Christmas vacation is not inclusive. This inclusive argument plays on Americans' highly developed sense of decency, but the argument is preposterous. Who exactly is being excluded when one wishes someone Merry Christmas? Non-Christians? I'm a non-Christian. I'm a Jew.
Honestly, with how closely most of your arguments align with those of Christian apologists, I honestly couldn't tell. Good to know for the future, though. However, this means that you should certainly know that Jews do not believe in the whole Bible, and if you do, you're more likely just a Christian. A Christian with Jewish heritage, perhaps, but still just a Christian if you believe in the entire Bible.
Christmas is not a religious holy day for me, but I'm an American, and Christmas is a national holiday in my country. It is therefore my holiday, though not my holy day, as much as it is for my fellow Americans who are Christian.
That is true. It is a national holiday in America, and as such, you are more than welcome to celebrate it as I am as an atheist. However, I have yet to see any good argument here as to why you should be so upset about people choosing to say Happy Holidays.
That's why it's not surprising that it was an American Jew, Irving Berlin, who wrote White Christmas, one of America's most popular Christmas songs. In fact, according to a Jewish musician writing in the New York Times, almost all the most popular Christmas songs were written by Jews. Apparently, all these American Jews felt quite included by Christmas. By not wishing me a Merry Christmas, you are not being inclusive. You are excluding me from one of my nation's national holidays.
I'm sorry. What the fuck are you talking about? You can pretend that Christmas is not one of the holidays included within Happy Holidays all you like, but it does not make it true or justify your bullshit persecution narrative.
But even if Christmas were not a national holiday, I would want pilots to wish their passengers Merry Christmas, companies to have Christmas parties, and schools to continue to have Christmas vacations.
Again, you can like something all you want, but that does not mean that what you prefer should be pushed upon other people.
Just because I don't personally celebrate Christmas, why would I want to drop the word Christmas when the holiday is celebrated by 90% of my fellow Americans? It borders on the misanthropic, not to mention the mean-spirited, to want to deny nearly all of your fellow citizens the joy of having Christmas parties or being wished a Merry Christmas. The vast majority of Americans who celebrate Christmas and who treat non-Christians so well deserve better. So please say Merry Christmas and Christmas party and Christmas vacation. If you don't, you're not inclusive. You're hurtful. I'm Dennis Prager.
Well, Dennis, there are some points in this video where we could almost see eye to eye if you could just give me one decent reason to not say Happy Holidays. But you have failed so miserably in this that your final argument is, hearing people say this perfectly harmless phrase hurts my feelings. And that just does not work for me. So while I started this video out wishing all of my lovely viewers a Merry Christmas, I will end it by wishing them a just as harmless Happy Holidays. I hope all of my fellow heathens have a lovely Christmas, a safe New Year, and a fantastic rest of their winter break.